Guys, with the exam season coming very close for professional accounting and finance courses like ACCA, the US CMA, the CFA course, it is extremely important that we train ourselves to manage our time in an extremely strategic manner. Well, while this video is mostly targeted at ACCA, CFA, CPA and CMA, these are general tips that can also be used otherwise to manage your study time or your time in general more effectively. Hi guys, I'm Roshal. I'm with the academics team at Zell Education, and at Zell for the last 7 years we've trained approximately 10,000 students in professional accounting and finance courses like ACCA, CFA, CPA, CMA and Diploma in IFRS. So if you're coming across our YouTube channel for the first time, please consider liking, sharing and subscribing. And any questions or suggestions that you have for us, please leave them in the comments below. Alright, my point or my tip number 1 to all of y'all is, before you start studying, set a study goal for yourself. What is it that you want to achieve in that day? Now this goal, guys, remember, has to be an extremely realistic goal. You can't just tell yourself that, okay, I'm gonna finish my entire textbook in a day. That's simply not how effective time management works. This needs to be tangible, and you need to come up with a way where at the end of the day you can question yourself with close-ended questions like, have I finished this topic or not? And the answer can only be a yes or a no. Have I taken the quiz? The answer can only be a yes or a no. So prepare yourself, or rather prepare for the topics in a way where at the end of the day you can tangibly question whether you have finished it or not. That is my tip number 1 to you. Be organized and set a study plan in place. Guys, tip number 2 for all of y'all is a follow on from tip number 1. Once you've set your goals, you need to also incentivize yourself for achieving these goals. Now, how do you go about with that? So, well, I would like to go one step further and say that you either give yourself 100% incentives if you have met all your goals. So, for example, I am a massive sport fan. So what I would do is, okay, if I finish everything that I wanted to study, let's say I'm studying liquidity ratios. I finish all the ratios, I get to watch a football game for the entire 90 minutes. I finish 75% of the syllabus or what I had planned to do in the day, I get to watch 75 minutes of that game. I finish 50% or less, I do not get to watch the game at all. But you need to be very rigid and very honest with yourself. When you don't get your plan executed or completed, you need to stick to this structure wherein you don't let yourself watch the game. So incentivizing yourself is extremely important and it will lead to success. Point number 3, guys, when you start studying vigorously, you need to set a timer for yourself. Now, this could be a 30-minute timer, this could be a 45-minute timer, this could be an hour timer. Once the timer starts ticking, you do not look at your phone until it hits 0. You do not go out of your room and ask for food until it hits 0. You need to be disciplined in that manner. Now, understand that the time that you set does not have to be vast amount of time. It does not have to be 4 hours at once. It could be as simple as 30 minutes at a stretch. I'm going to study this one concept. Once I'm done with it, 10-minute break, then I'm back to studying. You need to plan it in such a manner. So keep the timer ticking so you can actively track how much time you've spent on your studies. Alright, point number 4. Guys, while I'm not an advocate for moving away from social media and the very distracting apps that we have these days, I would recommend that you'll still, of course, have a social life and be a part of plans. Try reducing the distracting factors that you have. Now, it might be for a month that you have to do this, but reduce your Instagram usage, for example. Maybe reduce your WhatsApp usage. Maybe don't check that group where you have banter with your friends all the time. Make sure that you're only checking it, let's say, once a day, twice a day. Again, I am not an advocate for, completely getting rid of social medias, but from personal experience, looking at things like Instagram Reels and things of that sort, it takes up massive chunks of your time. So make sure that you avoid distraction factors. The next tip that I have for y'all is, for those of you who have struggled focusing on one particular topic or, just reading through the textbook, I recommend you use white noise. Now, what exactly is white noise? Well, if you have a pair of headphones or earphones, you can simply search white noise on Google, plug these in, and you will not be able to hear the sound around you, which will allow you to study in an extremely focused manner. This goes well with the point where I said, set timers. So if you're studying for 30 minutes, plug these in. Now, don't set them at extremely high volumes, but just enough so you can't hear your surrounding sounds, because those are often, again, distracting factors. You don't want to hear birds chirping when you're studying. So, this is an effective tool where if you live in a noisy neighborhood or if you live in a house that's always loud, you can use this strategy to study more effectively. Guys, just for your reference, this is what distracting sounds are like. So I think you can hear them now. Guys, my final tip to you all is, when you have large modules or large chapters that you're studying from, make sure that you break them down into smaller topics for yourself. It is extremely unrealistic for you to think that I will finish a 60-page book in one day. What is more realistic is I will finish 20 pages out of the 60 pages in one day. So split it into smaller segments if it is a large chapter. And guys, with that being said, I hope you can use some of these tips to manage your time more effectively. What often separates a student who passes the exam from a student who fails the exam is how well they've utilized their time. So if you found this video helpful, again, please consider liking it. Any questions you have for us, any support you need for the upcoming exam window, please leave them in the comments below and we'll make sure we help you out. Thanks for watching.